Okay, two things before we start. One, I realized of the pubes that are growing on my lip. I'm too lazy to shave anything, so just... And two, one thing you need to know about me is that I'm a huge fan of the comic books. You know that, whatever. But another thing you should know is that I do not give a flying about comic book accuracy. So, whenever someone tells me that, oh, I didn't like this movie because it's not accurate to the comic books, your opinion holds no validity over anything. You are wrong. I am right. Why? Because no one gives a flying about comic book accuracy. So when I hear people say that they didn't like this movie because Cable is taller than the comic books, he's not that short. Shut up. Your opinion is not valid here. So just leave and just cry to your mommy, alright? Bye-bye. So I saw Deadpool 2, yeah. And surprisingly, I loved it. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. But I did. So, let's talk about the good things about Deadpool 2. First, actually, let's talk about Deadpool 1 first, so I can, because I didn't review it more, then. So Deadpool 1, I thought it's a fine movie. I rewatched it recently, and I didn't love it as much as I did like the first time I saw it. It still holds a special place in my heart, but like, you know, it's not a great movie. It's not one of the best superhero movies. Yeah, it's a refreshing pace of, you know, all these boring, serious superhero movies, but you know, it's nothing special. It didn't do anything special, you know, filming wise. There was no good sense of direction. It was just like bland shot reverse shot. It just didn't. It just looked kind of unappealing to look at. You know, the action was fine. The opening action sequence was great, actually. I love that scene. But everything else just kind of seemed just pale in comparison. Kind of. It's just like, you know, felt like a bland movie, a bland looking movie at least. Deadpool 2, however, fixes basically almost all the problems it had before. It looks better, the cinematography is great, there are lots of like creative and amazing shots. You can tell that there's a different director at the helm. One of the guys who directed John Wick directed this movie. David Leitch. David Leitch? I think that's how you say his name? There's a prison fight scene that like just clearly shows that like, oh yeah, the guy who directed John Wick directed this, definitely. This movie takes everything that the first Deadpool did and just cranks it up to 11.
It's not 10. You see, most blokes, you know, be playing at 10. You're on 10 here, all the way up, all the way up,
yeah.
All the way up. You're on 10 on your guitar. Where can you go from there? Where?
I don't know.
Nowhere, exactly. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
It's a lot more gruesome and brutal. It's so much more violent and vulgar. The action is so much better. It's just so much better than the first, like in almost every way. The acting is top notch from everyone. Everyone did a great job, especially Julian Dennison, the kid from Hunt for the Wilder People. I thought he was great. This movie was unpredictable, I should say. I didn't expect a lot of the things to happen. So we're gonna get to some spoilers right now. So click to here if you don't want us to get spoiled. But you know, yeah, here's your warning and let's go. So X-Force, everyone basically dies. All the unimportant characters die. Like Terry Crews dies. The guy from It dies. The Mojo Shatterstar dude dies. He gets shot up by helicopter blades, and it's great. It's so great. It's like we thought like, oh, they're gonna be sequels now with these characters, but no, they just get rid of them. They're gone. They're done. It was just so unexpected and so violent too. My God, I didn't know where the story was going. I thought I knew who the villain was gonna be. So there's this villain, right, called Black Tom Cassidy. He's actually a villain in the comics who, like, you know, has I don't know his powers. He's just like a lame villain. I thought they were setting him to be the villain, and then spoiler alert, he gets that's it. He just gets like out of nowhere. Like it's amazing. I thought it was so great. Okay, so I'm getting scattered right here now. So let's go into the good things. So acting, everyone brought their A game. Everyone was fantastic. Ryan Reynolds, Julian Dennison, Josh Brolin, who they're all just great. I thought they were all great. I'm pretty sure everyone gave it their all in this film. And it shows everyone really cares about this like character and this story. And that's another thing. Okay, now let's step like on to number 2. The story. There actually is a story in this film, and I didn't expect it to be as deep and emotional as it is. At its heart, this film is a family movie. I'm not even joking. That's what the movie literally described itself as. The first one was a love story, and the second one is a family movie. And it's just it really is. Like, there are a lot of, like, you know, family themes, and I didn't expect, like, you know, a superhero like Deadpool to, you know, bring so much emotion and depth to his character. And he's more than just, like, you know, wisecracking asshole. He's a sympathetic character now. He has a lot more tragedy to him now. So, spoiler alert again. You know, give you 3 seconds. Not only did Deadpool like lose, like, you know, become horrifically scarred, but he lost his wife too, and he lost his chance of having a family. And you feel for him. And the opening sequence of this film, like, you know, the title sequence where it parodies James Bond, is beautiful. That was so great. I loved that. This is also a very funny movie. This was a really, really funny movie, but not like all comedies, not all the jokes land. There were a few that just, like, you know, there was one scene at the end that was kind of funny at first. You'll know when you see it. It was kind of funny at first, but like it went on too long. It just went on, like, you know, like, okay, yeah, we get it. It was still funny. It was still funny throughout. But I'm like, okay, come on, I want to keep going. I want to see where this is going. Is this like a perfect movie? Of course not. It's not. Like, it's. But in terms of a superhero movie, it damn nearly is. It's nearly a masterpiece. There's just a few things that, you know, kept it from being perfect. I've heard complaints about the editing. I honestly didn't notice it really. I guess I still need to learn a lot about editing flow, I guess, maybe, but it didn't bother me, I guess. Some of the CGI was kind of inconsistent, especially for Colossus. In some shots, he looked amazing. In others, he just looked like cheap. He just looked cheap in some of them. But I forgive it because this, for a superhero movie, it's still very low budget. Even though it did get a bigger budget since the last movie. I think it doubled in budget. Oh, let me check. $110 million. That's still, like, pretty low for a superhero movie. So I find it amazing that Justice League has some of the worst special effects I've ever seen in my life. And that costs $300 million. That is double the budget of Deadpool. And Deadpool has better effects than that. That's just sad. Warner Brothers, you need to step up your game big time because you're f***ing up right now. I thought a lot of the music choices were pretty funny and very well used. There was a lot of dubstep in the film. I know it was like to make fun of dubstep, but the second time it was used, I'm like, okay, yeah, we get it. The action in this movie is top notch. The choreography was excellent. I love the action scene between Colossus and Juggernaut. That was so great. That was awesome. I love that. My nerd brain just like overall, this is just a huge improvement over the previous film, and I'm excited to see it again. I really am. I can't wait to see this movie again. There's some the end credit. Stay for the end credits because this is hands down the best end credit scene of any film, any Marvel movie, or any film in history. It's just it just makes you feel great. It just makes you feel happy. This is a good 8 out of 10 movie for me. I know it's like the same thing as Avengers, but this is technically a better movie than Avengers, structure-wise. But I kind of enjoy myself more, I think, than I did with Avengers: Infinity War. I still think these are both great movies, but I just had so much more fun in Deadpool. Yeah, so it's a good 8 out of 10. I think it's fair. It's a fair rating. Yeah, definitely see it. This is like one of the best blockbusters, to watch. Of course, there's also Avengers. You can watch that too. But I much rather watch this movie, Deadpool 2, than Solo. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a terrible movie, but it just looks so bland and average and mediocre. It just looks blah.
Step up in the party, step up in the party, high. We on tight, right up to the party, high.